Wow. Welcome. I'm extremely excited about what is just going to happen in the next couple of weeks, starting from this night. Welcome to the 16th year anniversary edition of the Purpose and You Talk Show. And my name still remains Mr. Purpose International, founder of the Purpose Discovery Academy. And tonight, we begin a journey to look back in the last 16 years of what God has helped us to accomplish in terms of impact on lives. Our ministry started 16 years ago, and our major focus has been teenagers and young people. And some of these teenagers are now adults doing great things in different spheres of influence in life today. And to the glory of God, 16 of them will be coming to share their testimony of transformation by the power of purpose and some of the impact events that we have held over the last 16 years. Just for a way of introduction, my name is Noah Feoluakbe. These are my real names, the founder of the Purpose Center and also the Purpose Discovery Academy. These are two complementary institutions. Purpose Center is the mother organization. She functions more like an itinerant outreach ministry, and the Purpose Discovery Academy is our academy, like the name, like we started with the name Purpose School in 2011, which is an academy that is devoted to teaching in a structured way young people how to discover God's purpose and what to do after that discovery, the path to follow to fulfill your own unique calling or purpose, either through a career path, either through creating a unique product or service, or to become an inventor of value, or to start a ministry, or to start an idea. But everyone on this earth has a unique purpose in God. And that's the core focus of the Purpose Center ministry and also Purpose Discovery Academy, which started as Purpose School. And over the last 16 years, we have been helped by God to impact well over 40,000 young people across Nigeria and also across the world. But 16 privileged few are going to be joining me tonight and also throughout the next couple of weeks. And I already have one of them on the live tonight, but I'm going to bring up the two of you at 8:15. Thank you so much, Cheesy the Ace. You're going to get to meet my guest tonight. But before that, wherever you're joining from, please share this video with your friends. That Mr. Purpose is live. The Purpose and You Talk Show is about to kick off. And at the background is the song of the eagle himself, Minister Dunsi Oyekon. I love that song so much. I can't be less than what you made me. I can't be less than what you made me. Lord, I worship you with all my heart. You know, the journey to fulfilling purpose actually starts when you have a personal encounter with the person of Jesus Christ. And then after that discovery or after that encounter, you now need to pursue the right knowledge of what he created you to be or to do. Let me just read for like an introduction a very, very popular story in the Bible. For those who are not Christians, I encourage you to become one tonight after this particular edition of the Purpose and You Talk Show. And then read your Bible. Read your Bible. It's not for pastors only. Read your Bible every day because that's the script that reveals your future. That's why it's called the scriptures. All right. So in John chapter 9, I'll start from verse 1. As he went along, Jesus saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents? Jesus answered, neither this man nor his parents But this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. Another version says, this happened so that the purpose of God can be revealed in him. And that's why I just want to kick off tonight. That the way you were born, where you were born, how you were born, every circumstance surrounding your birth, even the things that you would call defects of your natural background, were all pre-planned by God so that his purpose for your life can be displayed, can be revealed. This particular blind man, his own case was very unique. He didn't have eyeballs in his socket, in his eye socket. So if you put your hands through his eye hole, you would actually be able to put your hands through his eye socket, because the eyeballs were not there. Not that the eyeballs were just blind. He didn't even have eyes at all. So this particular guy looked a bit scary, looked horrible, looked terrible. But Jesus here said it was not because his parents sinned or because of his own personal sin, rather so that the purpose of God might be displayed in his life. So I want to encourage you, if you're watching this video right now, you come across this video sometime later, your background was designed by God to make you a candidate for God's purpose, to be a candidate for the election of grace, because God is a master at using the least likely to do the most mighty. There are 3 stages in discovering and fulfilling God's purpose. There's something called, when you come into God's purpose, you would find out that you are good at something. It's a season where you find what you are good at. That's one level. As you continue to journey in this path, you will discover what you are gifted at. That's a different level of expertise. That's a different level of expression of your innate abilities. But if you continue on this path of purpose and you are pursuing your purpose through adding value to lives, then you will come into the season where you would come into what you are graced at, So you go from what you are good at to what you are gifted at and to what you are graced at. So without much ado, I would like to bring in the 2 wonderful alumni of the Purpose Discovery Academy, a young man and a beautiful young lady, intelligent individuals in their own right, and they're just going to have a very wholesome conversation. So let me start. I think this ladies first, right? So all right, I've sent the invite for you to join. Cheesy, the ace. Fantastic. Fantastic. So good to see you.
Good evening. Good evening. Good to see you as well.
All right. So let's try and bring in Ifunanya. I call her Dr. Ifunanya so that we can have both of you at the same time. Just have this. Okay, she's not able to join at the moment. All right, so for those who are just joining us, this is the Purpose and You Talk Show, and we are celebrating the 16 years of the Purpose Center. The Purpose Center is an organization that helps young people discover, develop, and deploy God's purpose for their lives in an intelligent way, in an accurate manner. Walking in a path of purpose is what I know will get you paid for what you were made to be. to get you paid for what you were made to be. People will pay you money for just being you. You will not be trapped in the wrong job, in the wrong space, in the wrong sphere of influence. You will not be like a square peg in a round hole. And this young man here is a perfect example of someone that is enjoying life, cruising, and fulfilling purpose and also loving the work that he does. So, Cheesy, in a few minutes, let's try one more time. Just the network. Ifunanya, just hold on. Let me try and invite you. So don't. I'm accepting your request. Cheesy, your camera is a bit unstable, so you might need to find a position where the camera is not um, dancing around. All right. So let's start with you since you're already here. Can you just introduce yourself to our viewers who are watching? Let's get to meet you so that we can get the ball rolling.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Chibuike Chris. I'm known as the Event Ace. I'm an award-winning master of ceremonies. I am an actor, and a few other things by the side, but primarily that is what I do. And yeah, I'm so pleased to be on this live today because I mean, it's been a long time. When you said 16 years, I didn't know it's been that long, to be honest. But it's been a long journey and it's been a good one. And I'm happy to be here today.
Fantastic. All right. Welcome on board, Cheesy. Can you, I don't know if you remember, when was the first time you had contact with the Purpose Center? Can you remember? Because I have a very clear, vivid picture of the first day I saw you, what you were doing,
Um,
and how
I, I'm
wow we were. Can you remember exactly where we
so
met?
if I'm correct, I think I was probably in SS1 or SS2 secondary school. It was at a I think SS2. Yeah, I think SS2, a graduation ceremony in my school. And I was doing a performance. I think I did a little bit of spoken word poetry, and then I did a bit of rap. But it was a little bit all over the place that day, Sha. But yeah, I think I did a little bit of that. Is that the day? Was that the day
That
we
was
met?
that was the first day that at least I set eyes on you, and I was like, wow. At that
Uh,
time you were you were on fire with lyrics. So I
yeah,
don't know who gave you the name, the lyrical miracle, but maybe you were the one.
yeah,
So that was one of your.
yeah.
So how has it been for you? I think that year was 20. I think it was 2012 or 2013 when we first had an encounter with you. So between that time and now, what exactly has happened to Chibuike? How did you go from Chibuike to the event Ace? What were the things that happened uh, within you
Okay.
in this couple of years?
Okay. Like I said, it's been a very long journey, and honestly, um, I would say it's God that has brought me to where I am here today. The reason why I say that is because, like I said, it was a little bit all over the place. I mean, I was very passionate about what I was doing then, but, you know, there wasn't a clearly defined path back in the day, right? But um, especially going through the purple school then when I did, I was able to learn a lot of things and I was able to even gain confidence because the Purpose Center helped me to find my voice and gain better confidence in certain areas as well. And I started not just performing locally in my school, but I started going to other places, other schools, other churches, and all of that. And all that performances that I was doing then, I never knew, but it is part of what makes me a very successful event host, a very successful MC that I am here today. And I've had lots of events that I've hosted now that I got those jobs because of my background in music or because of my background in poetry or I was able to, the event wasn't going as smoothly as it should be, but I was able to buy time by pulling out one of my talents that I've been sharpening 10 years ago, 12 years ago, that I did not know I would eventually still need today, right? So it's been a long journey, and meeting people, learning new things, and not just learning about how to sharpen my skills in the creative space, but also learning how to associate with people, also learning um, there are certain things that are very important. You need to be presentable. You need to put God first. You need to know what you are trying to do, like basically your purpose. You need to know exactly it. There needs to be a clearly defined path. Like, okay, this is what I aim to do. This is what I need to enjoy doing what I'm doing, and I need to, and so far, I would say, I say to my friends that when I'm going to work, my work is one of the only jobs that I can clearly tell you I 100% enjoy what I do. I go
Mm.
to have fun, and I get paid for it.
Pay for
I
having.
mean, that's not to say exactly. That's not to say that it's not stressful at all. I mean, there's always a bit of stress in whatever I'm going to do, but I enjoy it. I genuinely enjoy it. So I get paid to have fun, basically, and I'm winning awards while having fun as well. So it's fantastic. Honestly, it's been a long journey, and it's it's just been a really long journey. Um, yeah,
So, thank you for sharing that. So, when you were in secondary school, you
yes,
you know, at least the first day we met you, we saw you as a kid who had developed or discovered some of his talents, and you were more like star amongst your peers at that time,
yeah.
very energetic and all of that. So, what has kept you going on this creative path rather than going into like a normal 9 to 5? Or then did you go to university to study something different from what you are doing today? Or did you get an education in the area of your passion?
Okay. So part of the things I'm happy about is that back then, when I was doing all these things, even though there was a little bit of pressure from family to do the typical to go this typical school route and all of that,
Yeah,
I'm glad that I was still able to do certain things by the side in the creative spaces, like certain trainings by the side in creative spaces. And those trainings have really helped me kicked on. So I studied urban and regional planning in school. I still did all I was meant to do in the typical school route and all of that. I even did tech at some point. And the funny thing is that I was actually doing pretty well in the tech line. I was, at least to an extent, I started studying CCN, CCNA, that is Cisco Internet Working and all of that. And I was doing pretty well. However, I just didn't feel fulfilled doing it. It's not something, yes, there was money coming in, and I knew that, in front there was way more money to come, but it's not something I got fulfillment from doing. And it's not something I genuinely enjoyed doing, right? And I never even really fully thought that I would eventually still find myself in the industry, still earning money and earning well from the industry. Because trust me, I've heard a lot of things that, passion does not pay, talent does not pay. At some point, as a man, you need to focus on what to pay the bills. I heard a lot of those things, right? And I won't lie, at some point, it was beginning to it was beginning to thought, because when Nigeria and reality, touches you, all these things begins to set in and all of that. However, like I said, um, the trainings I was able to, because I got a lot of advice to do these certain trainings by the side, and a hobby or my hobbies and passion now became something that I was earning money from by the side. And it now started becoming way more consistent, that it now slowly became the main thing from a side thing. So initially it was like, okay, at least I can use my passion to, get small cash to settle some things by the side. And then from there, it just started becoming the main thing. And now I can boldly tell you that hosting events and being an actor, it is the major thing I do. I don't do a 9 to 5 and use it as a side hustle. Mm-mm. This is the major thing I do. There's no issue sorting bills. There's no issue, handling things that I need to handle as a man and all of that. And I'm grateful. So, in a nutshell, what really took me all this way is, the advices I got back in the days. I got a mentor. The Purple School introduced me to, you know, Solomon Adesanya St. Rhymes, who has been a powerful mentor of mine, who not only nurtured me in terms of uh, the arts, but also in terms of life as well. And it's been it's been it's just been God ever since, because everything just aligned to help me to be who I am today. And it's something I'm really grateful for.
Fantastic. All right. So, what would you tell parents, today's parents who have a 14-year-old child that they already have a plan? Most times, parents already have a plan for their
Yes.
children, especially coming from maybe their own unfulfilled dreams. You see a
Mm.
mother that tried to be a doctor but ended up as a biochemist, already looking at all her children as, okay, this third born, this girl, this particular girl
Will be a
must be the
doctor.
doctor in the house. Then maybe the father wanted to be a lawyer and he ended up being a liar. Sorry. He ended up being he ended up being something else. So he now like looks at his firstborn, say, okay, this one has a strong head. This one likes to talk a lot. This one likes to argue. I'm going to push this boy in the line of being a
Being a
lawyer.
lawyer.
And
Mm.
they now find that this child likes to draw. He's very artistic and spends hours and hours, sketching. And it looks like no, 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 you can't go in that direction because we don't even have examples of or role models of people who have been successful. And when we
In
talk
that
about
field.
success, when we talk about success in Africa, in African context, we are going to only focus on the material wealth, the bling
Mm.
blings, the cars, and all of that. But
Mm.
I heard you say something very, very powerful, that initially you were on the normal path, urban and regional planning, but you were not feeling fulfilled. You were not getting fulfillment. Your soul felt empty, right? So
Yeah.
what would you tell a typical African, uh, because this isn't going across beyond just Nigeria, but what would you tell a typical
100%.
African parent, context Nigeria, vis-a-vis Lagos, but across Nigeria? What would you tell them? Your child is beginning to reveal certain different traits to what you imagine this boy or this girl should become. What advice will you give to that kind of a parent?
Okay, so what I would say is, first of all, thankfully, there are a lot of examples in the past, say, 10 years now, of a lot of young people making it through unconventional means. And by that, I mean not the typical lawyer, banker, doctor kind of means, right? There's so many people making it as photographers, getting
Yeah.
into, I mean, Ebuka in the past, I think that was like 3 years ago, Ebuka, as a host, was in the same room with Bill Gates recently, right? That was, I think, 3 years ago. And they spoke handshakes and everything. And this is just someone who is a public speaker. Basically, that's what Ebuka is a host, right? And if Ebuka was probably a doctor or probably an accountant, that might have not happened. It's still possible it might have happened, but it might have not happened, right?
It,
So
I can
it's
tell you,
clear.
time it will not happen. You'll be stuck somewhere chasing some
Exactly.
bad news. Yeah.
Exactly. So, thankfully, there are a lot of examples in the recent in recent history that shows that there are other ways in which people can make it. So, what I would advise such a parent is that, okay, make sure the child focuses on what they are meant to do their assignments, focus on school and all of that. However, do not neglect their passion. Hone their passion. Let them hone their skill. Probably even get them a tutor. If you want to see it as a hobby for them, no problem. But for now, push them. That thing that they are passionate about, that thing that God has put in them, push them through it, hone their skills. If you notice, most of the best sports stars in the world, most of the best music people in the world, if you hear their stories, it's always things like, I started at age 6. I started at age 4, age 5, Serena Williams, Venus Williams. This one, they're always starting at very young ages. So if you start making sure that you show your children that level of support at an early age, trust me, even the sky is not going to be their limit, right? So
It'll be a stepping
it's
stone.
all
Yeah.
exactly. So even if you have a certain path for them, I mean, it is also your duty as a parent to try and advise your child in what you feel would be the best way for them to go, the best route, to try and give them a better life than you probably had. That's okay, but do not neglect their passion. Help them hone those skills, help them push for fulfillment because a life with money can still be a life of emptiness. But a
Oh, yeah.
life with fulfillment, definitely, it's a life that it's a full life, it's a rich life.
All right. So, thank you for that advice to parents. This is coming from PZ the Ace. We used to call it the lyrical miracle, and I still say that you got the lyrics. Your your mainstay has been your ability to use words intelligently and creatively. So I was hoping if Naya would have joined us because we met her. I think she came in contact with the Purpose Discovery Academy just about 2 years or 3 years ago now. But we
Okay.
met when you were still very raw, very young. You know, you're still young, but you were a teenager at that time. So
Yes.
what would your advice be now to a teenager like you attended the Purpose School, but your mom also was the owner of a school, right? Your mom,
Yes. Yes.
she's an educationist, traditional educationist.
Educationist. Yes.
How were you able to navigate the season of convincing your mother, for example, who owned your case was even more interesting.
Hmm.
Your
Hmm.
mother being an educationist. So how were you able to navigate that season? Because for me, it's very important to hear your story, how you were able to not become a rebellious child
Hmm.
and also not conform to the norm. Because there's a book that we want to publish for an author. The title of the book is The Blessing of a Rebel. The
Oh.
blessing the blessing of a rebel. That every Uncle Sele just joined. That's one of my covenant brothers. He's also a fantastic value coach. Thank you, Uncle Sele, for joining this conversation. So,
Mr. Purpose, I don't know if you can hear me. I
oh,
joined. I'm only seeing you.
we can
I'm
see
only
you.
seeing you. I'm not
I can
even
see you
seeing
and
the
hear
other
you.
speakers. I can only see
Oh,
you.
I can see and hear you clearly.
You're wearing a
Okay.
yellow top. Uh,
Yes. With a
Yes.
lovely smile as well. Yeah, I can see.
uh, yeah, all the way from Russia. We are being joined
All
Mm.
now
right.
by I call her Dr. Ifunanya because she's going to be a she's already a PhD holder in
Amen.
in studying. Yeah, it's just the events are just playing out now. So I was asking Cheesy to help a young person out there who you are like a Mary. You are pregnant with Jesus and you have not known a man. You know, you have an uncommon dream inside of you. So what do you do as a young person? And maybe you attend the Purpose Discovery Academy, you discover that, oh, I'm not supposed to be in science class. I'm supposed to be in art. Or
Ah, that's another thing.
I'm supposed to be
Uh,
in art. How do you navigate that negotiation with your parents? So how did you do it, Cheesy? Then we'll now,
okay,
Ifunanya,
okay.
it,
So real quick, if I had discovered the Purple Center earlier in my life, I most likely wouldn't have been in science class, right? Because I was one of the smartest and brightest students in my school back in the days, right from primary school. And this is not just me saying it. I have loads of awards to show for it. Represented my school for Macmillan Maths competition, Cowbell Math competition, and so many competitions. So, I was a very smart kid. I was a head boy and all of that. However, I never enjoyed those science courses. I was
wow.
passing them quite all right. I was passing them, and I was the best at it in my class. Always the best, or at least second best in one or two of them. But I was always the best. In fact, I love further maths and all of that. However, I never enjoyed science-related subjects. Biology, physics, chemistry, nada. I never enjoyed any of those three, right? I would always sometimes go to the classes of people doing literature, commerce, and stuff like that. Yeah, and thinking back at it, if I had been in an arts class and combined with what I'm doing now today, I think it would have helped me a lot more, right?
Wow.
However, they said it's better late than never. So, I've been able to do what I had to do. And speaking of what I had to do, like you said, my mom owned a school or still owns a school. And obviously, she's the traditional educationists that would rather you go a certain route than the entertainment creative route, right? So what I did is that I made sure I remained one, first of all, a good child by doing what I was meant to do, still doing excellently well in my studies and all of that. And then I still made sure to focus on my dream and my passion by the side. I was pushing as much as I could. I was learning as much as I could. And then one day, my mom was scrolling on TV randomly and she saw me. A movie I did, she saw me
Really?
randomly on TV. Yeah, she did see me randomly on TV, right? And then another time I went to her church and I did a performance, and everybody was wowed with the performance. And they were like, "Oh, mommy, Sema, look at your son. Wow, that
Okay,
was fantastic."
okay, that was spoken word poetry.
It was spoken word. It was spoken word. Because that's what, her church is one of these old time religion kind of churches. So spoken word is what they would have related with more than
More.
rap.
Okay.
So they really enjoyed it, and
If you rap
seeing
in that kind of church, sorry to interrupt, if you rap in that kind of church, they will rap you out of church.
exactly, exactly. So the spoken word poetry, they really enjoyed it. And then my mom seeing me deliver results in different platforms. One day we now had a conversation, and she and my dad were like, okay, if you know that this is what you actually really want to do, it's okay. But if you can try and get some formal training on these things, my mom is an educationist. We always advise that. If you can try and get some formal training on these things, try to get certifications on these things. That would be
Mm.
fantastic. And then I went into my room and I brought two certifications I had already gotten.
Wow. You were prepared for that
I was
conversation.
already prepared. Do you get? I was already prepared. So what I would advise any teenager or anybody is that no be just cho show workings. Like put the walk the talk, right? This is what you want to do. Start working on it. It's when people see results. Nobody, if you want to if you want to compete for the Olympics or for whatever, and people do not know you at all, and you go and ask for sponsorship, you might not really get any.
So,
However, if you have already been competing in smaller tournaments and you have been winning and you have track record, trust
yeah,
me, people would contact you to want to sponsor you. So people need to see the results, no matter how small,
no matter how
right? No
small.
matter how small. The first wedding I hosted, before I hosted my first wedding, now I'm an award-winning MC, but before I hosted the first events that I did, I was begging a friend of mine for me to host her sister's wedding for free. They refused.
Wow,
They
because
refused
I've never
totally.
seen it before.
Exactly. They don't want to use their own event and do trial and error, right? However, um, Mr. Solomon Adesanya, who is somebody I really respect so much, he introduced me to somebody who was willing to part with only 8,000 naira for a very small occasion, and I did it. From that occasion, I was able to get videos of what I could do. I used that one to get a slightly bigger event, use a slightly bigger event to get another slightly bigger event, and that was how it kept growing from there. And now, if you look at my clientele list, I've hosted for banks, I've hosted for pharmaceutical companies, I've hosted for, who have I not hosted for? Whether it's Birth King, Premium Trust Bank 6 times,
You've not
and for you
hosted
to
for me.
host
You've not hosted.
very soon, very soon.
Yeah,
For you to host,
we're having a conference. We're having a Believe Your Dreams conference, the 4th edition,
okay.
next February 13th, because
Oh,
February
good.
14th is a Saturday. So it's going to happen on a Friday. So this is on international media. We're inviting you. We'll send you a proper
Okay.
invite. Please
Okay.
mark your calendars
Let's
for
make it
that.
happen.
We're going to have about 1,000 or 1,500 teenagers in that
Great.
hall. So
Great.
that would be a good place to reconnect
Perfect.
physically, and then would also use your story, we'll use your performance that day to further preach the message
No
of
problem.
discovery of talent and purpose. So
No
please go ahead.
problem. Count me.
Just hold on. Ifunanya, are you able to hear me at all? Are you able to hear me? I think the
Yes,
connection,
I can.
the
I can
connection.
hear you.
We need to contact President Putin now. That what's going on with the internet, right?
I can hear you.
All right, so just hold your thought for a bit.
That's right.
Let's allow the delectable lady to introduce herself. So, if uh, tell us who you are, what you were doing before you met Mr. Purpose and the Purpose Discovery Academy, and what has happened within that short time, the impact your contact with us at the Purpose Discovery Academy.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. Officially, my name is Ifunanya Eze. Ifunanya means love. And a certified relationship coach, founder the Almond brand. So the Almond brand is a relationship coaching brand where we use biblical and psychological principles to connect couples, connect singles back to their original design, self-identity, and we also just help them we are also the bridge between parents and child relationship, especially in this digital world, because I found out there's a gap within millennials, Gen X, Gen Z gap, parent wise and children wise. So we are filling the gap in that area too. So I met Mr. Purpose at David Christian Center. This is a call for you to go to church if you don't go to church. So I met Mr. Purpose at David Christian Center. Normally, I do enjoy volunteering because I like meeting new persons. I have a thing for just, even if I don't know you, I'll just hi and all. So I decided to, I think they scheduled me for class discovery. We have a session for those who usually want to give your life to Christ. We'll take you through the process in David Christian Center. So I don't think I was supposed to be in that particular it was not I think I'd already finished my own class procedure. So when they asked who is available or something, I just said it's not as if I'm doing anything. Let me just join again for the next class procedure. So it was Mr. Popo's, Mrs. Popo's, this is Mr. Popo's wife that was to take that first session. Yeah, the first class. So, but she had to meet up with Pastor Midred, so he covered up for her. Meanwhile, this is a call to marry someone that can cover for you. So he taught the session. I was much interested because I've not seen him in Discovery School before. So he taught the session like it was a very grounded session. So I just kept looking. And when he asked to introduce yourself, I was like, I'm class support. So I think he nicknamed me class support for the first day because he was like, what is your name? because of the way I was listening, he thought I was part of the students. But
Well,
I have a thing for it.
it seemed like you were one of the participants or the students,
Yeah.
and that got to me. This girl's attention can actually draw money out of you because she can draw. You was drawing.
So I just spent. I think I have a thing for always just getting new things because you can never actually know enough. I think there's a philosopher that said, all that I know is I know nothing. And also, so he just, after that was the first time we met. The second time we met was, I think I wanted to sit down in a particular place in church. Then I was like, should I go left or right? I said, let me go left. I don't like sitting. I don't like sitting on the left side of any organization. Once I enter the building, I have a thing of going to the right side. I don't know if it's because of this statement, and Jesus sat down on the right side of God. I don't like anything left. So I decided to go to the right side, and I sat down. I didn't know. That's another thing. I hardly used to look left and right. Even my neighbors have complained. But that I just turned after we had finished I think the service before I turned and saw that you have been sitting there all along. I was like, this is the second time, hello sir, and you asked a wife session. I said it was actually better because she thought the second session. Then the third was when we did I don't know if it's Together Forever conference or yes. So yes, Together Forever conference. So I was surprised, and I was doing my leave from work. It was in my leave for work. So I just looked and I was like, this is the third time I'm seeing you.
Viewers where you were working at that time. Don't mention the name of the organization, but the industry you were in.
Yes, I was working in a bank. Yes, I was working in a bank. I'm actually a graduate of medical biochemistry. But you know how Nigeria is, you don't end up what you want to do. So I'd reached out to lab. They said no, they want lab scientists. I'm like, are you kidding me? Medical biochemists were even more critical than lab scientists. You probably just mixing things up and down. But we know everything that's going on in the background. But I had to just apply to a bank and I got it. So I started working there. So I met you for the third time there. And I think you were like, what do you do? I know I told you I work in a bank, and you just said, okay, there's a program you're holding and it's Evolve. And I should join Evolve. And so I think I complained to that. I don't like complaining. But that particular day, I just told that I don't like I don't think I'm supposed to be where I am right now. Even if everybody say you can become the manager, you have a team, you are very organized and all, but deep inside of me, I was like, see, I think I'm like a rounded peg that is being forced into a box, a box hole or something. And also he said, okay, join Evolve, this is going to help you. And I did not have the financial means to join Evolve. So we did exchange of value that I said, okay, and this is where it's interesting, right? I have another thing where I don't like things being disorganized. It must be, if it's not professional, I have an issue with it. It must be fine, it must be organized, it must be excellent. So when you said okay, this is my link tree and I should do that in exchange of Evolve, I was like, why not? And so I organized the link, I enjoyed it and so I organized it. Then I saw that there was a gap in websites. And that is the thing, because of my work, I dropped website design for a year. I learned it very well. I built for my brand. I actually went website design because when I asked to build, what was it cost for me to do a website for my brand, the amount they called was too much. So I was like, why should I go and request for a cup of water when I can buy the ocean? So I went to learn the website design to do for myself. So I will not be begging anybody to adjust for the back end. No, adjust for the back end. I will go to the back end and do what I want. So I learned it. But when an attack happened on the website and it was hacked or something and I did not back up, I left it. I gave up I just kept it. I was like, let it just remain there. But when I met and I was doing this, I saw that there was a gap in the website. I said, let me see if I can. And the thing is that I did not even do the main website. I decided to use Google Portfolio. I have not done it before. So I said, let me try Google Portfolio to do it. And it was beautiful. And I sent to my coach. She was like, this is beautiful for you to create Google Portfolio in a way that is looking like a website design. I was like, this thing is still inside of me. It was seated. So I decided to I just told you that, see, let us do it better. You know, I said again, I don't like mediocre work. So I said to do it better. And when I did the website for Purpose Discovery Academy, it was building from scratch. It was not like building with template. It was building and I was like, this is actually something that I should not just keep with myself. Yes. So I kept on, and to be honest, I built PDA website while I was working. I was waking up 4 a.m. to do 2 hours every morning before I go to work. That was how I built the website, because I knew that once I get back, I'll be exhausted. So every 4 a.m., I will make sure that I design a particular part, at least, even if it's a page or half of the page, before I go to work. That was what I did for like 30 days before the launch of the app, of the website rather. So when I did that, now let's put that on hold now. So there's, somebody can have two talents, coaching. I had coaching and I had tech and all. So these two was, so on the coaching side, my own brand personally, something happened. I think we should all be careful with when God gives you a design for your brand or your business, and you go ahead with what people think is the way it should be, and you go astray totally. So I had received instruction about the almond brand, that this is a restoration brand and all. God, the name itself came from restoration, and how God told Aaron that, see, I can change stories overnight. If a tree, a rod can sprout almond branch, and not just branches, it sprouts fruits. There's no family that I cannot turn overnight. There's no life I cannot change overnight. As far as they're in front of the ark, God told Aaron to put the rods in front of the ark. As far as you're in the ark with God, there's no story that I cannot change overnight. So this was the instruction. But along the line in building my brand, I noticed I did not stick to the instruction I got. So anytime we're about to host a program, I always be asking friends, what do you think we should do now? What do you think? And we even had a group where we would discuss what we think we should do in Tab. It's not that it's a bad idea, but I think as a visioneer you should go back to your source and tell the remaining person that you're saying, this is what I'm receiving for this brand. Are you together with me? Not that you forget your source and you are going to get people ideas. So they always come up with, okay, let's teach this month, let's do this. And with time, somebody suggested, and that since it was people, they were Muslims on the group and all, that I should totally stop talking about God on the group. I was like, something was just wrong somewhere. They said, but I just felt like that is even a means to bring them into the Christendom, to see how God can actually, that is the message itself, right? So I stopped talking about God. It was just principles, how a relationship can be. But in all honesty, we cannot remove God from the foundation of family and relationship. There's no how I want to work, except maybe you have another thing that they will say 2 steps to, see all those 2 steps to becoming the chosen, 3 steps to becoming you cannot, the main thing first of all is to just hold God with your full chest. You cannot remove him from it. So, but I had removed him from the coaching brand and things fell apart. Things were just, it was just disorganized. So that is when Mr. Purpose came in. So Mr. Purpose came in where I was confused with what was happening with Tab, where I was confused. I did not know who I was again. Like, what am I doing? I just tried to, it was 8 to 8 sometimes, because of, how bank work, 8 to 7, 8, everything was on hold. So during that break, that time I met you, you were like, okay, let's join Evolve. Then the first session we had, Evolve, was on the kind of founder you are. Whether you're a bicycle founder, a founder with many that's carrying baskets, different things at once, doing everything. I can still remember that session because I was like, okay, even if I'm not a bicycle founder, maybe I'm the second
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Clearly.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Some complaints from people are reacting to your story, but your audio is not is kind of frosty or is cracking. So
Hey.
yeah. So
I can hear her a bit well on my end, though.
Cheesy, can you hear her clearly?
Yeah, I can actually on my own end.
Okay, so I think we'll just allow you continue. So hold your thoughts. I want you to hold your thought right there.
Yeah.
Can you tell the viewers the background story of how you found yourself in the path, the educational path? What made you go on that path? Was it parental pressure? Was it peer pressure? Or did you do what, for our international audience, there's something in Nigeria that we
Yeah.
call manemo, tumbulu tumbulu. Did you just choose any course or any subject that was available when you were writing your JAM, processing your admission into
Yeah.
university? What influenced your decision of the choice of course to study? And the reason why I'm asking this is I've been a crusader since I received this vision from God to be a purpose preacher. And also now with the depth of revelation I have, I know for a fact that every human being on this earth, they might not know it. Every human being, God has a purpose for your life. That purpose means there's a problem you were born to solve. And there's already
Yeah.
natural ability you have. And to study a course in university that should be preparing you for your life's work. So you're supposed to study a course that will keep you on course, not take you out.
Out of it. Yeah.
So for you, when I met you and you told me you work in a bank, I felt like collapsing out of pity. Everything that was the value that you were communicating, even without you thinking about it, everything was pointing to psychology, human, human,
Yeah.
that's what it's called. You have naturalistic intelligence, human interpersonal relationship with people. So, but I was like, you work in a bank? Like, there's no bank inside this girl here. So I was now more interested in knowing how you got trapped in a bank. But that's how I put it, that this young lady is trapped in a bank. Then when I
Yeah.
Instagram and I looked at your profile, I was convinced that you were trapped and you needed to be rescued.
To escape quickly.
When I saw certified relationship coach and I saw how organized your Instagram handle was looking, your link tree and all of that. And there was a bit of supernatural hand in your story because the first, when I was teaching in Davis Christian Center's Discovery School, but there was really not much until the second time we met, which was a divine coincidence. Because I also never sit in that side of church. I don't sit there.
Wow.
But on that day, for those who are not Christians, there's a person called the Holy Spirit that is like the Google map of your life's purpose. He gives you nudges, he gives you clues, he gives you cues, and you must pay attention to what he is saying to your spirit. At times, he might just tell you, take this course or register for this program. And you might like, I don't think I should. I didn't have the money because in your case, you didn't even though you're
Yeah.
working, even though you're working, your bank balance was balanced. So when I met you the second time, I knew it was not a natural coincidence. I just knew God would have you get to attend Evolve. I just knew it.
Yes. Speak. Okay.
The third time was Together Forever conference. So that second day, when we sat beside each other in church by the Holy Spirit's arrangement, I was having this tell her about Evolve. I'm like, no, it's too early. I just met her. I know she works in a bank. So when I actually work in a, so the third time you came for Together Forever conference, you were volunteering, and I told you about it. I think I told you about it that no, I told you I saw you online. I couldn't attend Together Forever conference. So as I
Yeah.
saw you again in the conference virtually, I just had that strong conviction that this young lady is somebody you should tell about your vision, about the Purpose Discovery Academy. I was like, okay, if I tell her about Purpose School, she might tell me I'm working in a bank. Because a lot of people are arrogant about this thing. They don't know that they are lost and they don't want to be found. So that's why I had to present Evolve to you, that this one might make sense to her. And
Speaking of Evolve, Mr. Purpose, when I saw Evolve, because I have a thing for things being beautiful. So when I saw Evolve flyer, I was like, are you sure this flyer is what? Are you sure they'll really give me the value that I'm looking for? And because the flyer, I think you designed it yourself.
I did it myself. Yeah, all the
Yes.
graphic designers had
Yes. But I have come to understand that most values are found in the place that you don't actually expect it. If you use facial expression, facial this thing, you will miss it in your destiny. I cannot even lie. Most of the things that came to me did not come in the place that is bam bam and all. So the flyer that I saw did not do justice to the value that I got from the first session. So that was why I told you that I'm going to make sure we design the second one, because I wanted it to communicate what I wanted. I did not want only me to actually hear what I was getting. And I felt that many people were sitting on their destiny with their own self and all. So I just wanted to chip in
all
that.
right, so back to your story. So what influenced your decision to study to be on the science path from secondary school?
So if you notice, I think we are one of those set of people that God said to give 10 talent or 5 to, and we have no option than to produce in everything. So,
You were also a head girl.
sir?
You were also the head girl of your secondary school.
Yes.
Cheesy here was the head boy.
Oh,
So I had
nice.
my former head.
I know.
I was also a prefect in my time. So we are all prefects here. So everybody pay
Right.
attention. Otherwise, we'll punish you. Don't listen.
Yes. So I have a thing. Everybody did not know. They don't. Nobody know what I want to be. I did not know what I want to be in future, because I was excelling in everything. I was excelling in science. If they said let us do literature review, I was passing the literature that I will read and give back to my teacher. I was very good. If you want to know if you pass your English letter writing, you give me, I will score you and tell you, yeah, you fail or you pass. So it was that. So I did not know what I want to be. Some person suggested, I was like, okay, maybe I can become a real estate management manager because I was good in TD. And maybe I should go into real estate. I said, okay, maybe I should do med lab. I know that medicine was not an option because I don't like that kind of stress. I will faint if I see dead body and all. So I knew that medicine was not an option. But I said, okay, should I do computer science? The thing is that that's another thing I need to state. I was doing computer, when they were teaching us computer science in school, I was good. But when I got to a particular point where it was looking like it was difficult, I said, maybe it's not my thing. I think we should stop running away from difficulty and feel like it's now our thing. So if I had stayed in the computer science and stayed there, probably that would be the time I went into what I was called to do.
Okay.
But because I did one particular test and I don't like, if it's not 90, 80%, I don't like it. All my courses must be 80, 90%. I refuse to have anything 77. What? I hate all those things. Even if it's 79.9, it's not my own. So it's always 80 and above. And even the 80, just because maybe it's the new course, it must be 90. So when we did a particular test in computer science but I was training other persons, but this one was between me and the head boy. And I think he scored me. We have always been in competition. Yeah, we have always been in competition. So, but I think he scored me and also I was like, nah, it's not my team. What is my team? They cannot beat me in it. So I left it. And suggestion came that since I'm cool-headed, I can do science. So I decided to do science. Just they said, okay, what? I said, maybe. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So suggestions came, and this was my guardian in school that, okay, if I cannot do medicine, I was just there. Everybody was deciding what I want to be. It's not. So they say if I cannot do medicine, I should do med lab. So I said, why not? Since I did not have a direction, like, let me just go ahead what they suggest. And but med lab did not, Nnamdi Azikiwe did not give me med lab. It was my school that now gave me medical biochemistry. I was like, there's no difference between med lab and medical biochemistry. So I just did the medical biochemistry. But when I was in fourth year, I'll wake up to read our daily manner. And he will always introduce some of the daily manners with stories. And I saw that I sat down in the stories and connected to them even more than the one he would go into teaching directly. So then I finished praying, I went to lie down. And when I lay down, an imagination came, stories came. So I woke up immediately and wrote the stories down and posted it. People related to the story. I was like, wow, this is serious. It's just an imagination. The next day, I woke up to pray again, read my Bible. I slept before it came again. And that was how I started writing on Facebook, and it got people attention that I could even publish a book. That somebody suggested that instead of doing this, I should compile my stories and publish it as a book. That was how I published my first book, with stories I'd already started posting on Facebook. So, but when Purpose Discovery came into my life, and it was like a reset. There was a particular session that you taught us that we should check how many times we have slept in our life and calculate it, and how many times we should do the calculation. That day that we were doing that calculation, I was on a bike, and I was trying to calculate how many years of my life I've wasted in doing things that people are suggesting. I was like, this is serious. I've never actually done something that I suggest and I stay on it. Wow. So in the coming to the and Purpose Discovery was now an education. You now took us. We did this particular session that you took us to this school with Daniel, and I watched how you brought Purpose to talk to them and introduce intelligence, different types of intelligence to the students. And I sat down there and was like, there's something about Purpose Discovery Academy that is here for me, because it's linking both my interest for helping children, my interest I can really build what I like, really, what's the word now? Invest my hand in tech, in website, in being able to, and I don't care if it's probably free, but there was just something that I felt like I can bring to the table and also help. Right. So while you were talking, you were teaching them, and I sat down watching with the students there. I was like, there's something calling me to the educational sector. There's something calling me to tech. There's something that also has to do with my counseling too. And then my scholarship also came. Like, I was scared of doing it. But because I'd been in an educational sector with Purpose Discovery Academy, I've been in the same sector. I've been able to practice tech-wise, and even with TAB. Purpose Discovery Academy, we told us to write our identity. I recently saw the identity statement. I said I was going to post it on my IG and pin it there. Because when you told us we should do a flyer and post our identity statement, this is who we are, I sat down and asked, I have it in my book, the first page, I wrote a new book. I wrote
Wow.
it, who is Ifunanya Eze? So I had to start writing down who I am, that nobody is telling me who I am. So I sat down and I was like, who is she? What is her value? What can she do? I wrote it down. Then you told us we should go and find out other brands that are doing the same thing that we are doing and write it down and see their strength. And I took Evolve very serious. That's why I used to be, it's not that I'm actually an angry person, but I think I find it offensive when you tell people submit their list and I'm like, are you not catching the vision that I'm catching here? I mean, is it only me that is seeing what is going on in this organization? And so you told us
All
we should
right.
write
Even
it.
I have to stop you here for
It's
now.
fine.
So thrilled. Wow. In fact, listening to your transformational story all over again, I am so humbled, and God deserves all the glory. There's a slogan we have at the Purpose Discovery Academy that we do the inspiration, but God does the transformation as the participants take action. I'll say it again.
Yeah.
We do the inspiration, God does the transformation as you, the participants, as you take action on the principles you are learning. So let's switch back to Lagos. You know,
Yeah.
let's switch back to Lagos, and let me ask Cheesy, the lyrical miracle, Cheesy the Ace. Cheesy,
Yeah.
what are the five benefits that you would say happen, or the five impacts uh, that you still remember till date happened in you and to you as a result of attending the Purpose? Then it was called the Purpose School. And interestingly, Cheesy said at the Purpose School there were just 3 students that came for
Yeah, them.
3.
Yeah.
I can never forget 3. When you have a when you have a new idea, a lot of people will not receive that idea until the idea has been put
Mm-hmm.
value added. So I was
Mm-hmm.
stuck on this path that I will do Purpose Center for 100 years first before I give up. I made that commitment from the beginning that I will do this thing for 100 years. If I don't succeed after 100 years, then I'll go and look for something else to do. So there was no way we were going to turn back, because his own edition, there were just 3 students. Because then it was physical,
Mm.
So 3, with all the energy we put into publicity all across the town of Pestac, 3 human beings showed up, and he was one of them. But what has happened in his life today, I look back and I'm like, it's worth all the effort. So, Cheesy Days, can you just tell us 5 things or 5 benefits of working in Purpose, or the impact, what were the things that happened to you as a result of attending the Purpose School, or PDA as we call it today?
Okay, so number one is confidence. Attending the purple school gives you confidence. It makes you realize that certain things are possible and you can go ahead to achieve them. That is number one. Number two is that it makes you self-aware. You know, the problem of some certain people is that they don't even know the things they're capable of. They don't even know if they are capable of greatness. They second guess themselves a lot, right? Some people, um, what's the word now? They it, they have this thing where they are the first person to shoot themselves down. So being a part of the purple school, it takes that out of you. So confidence and self-awareness, those 2 things. And then another thing is that it helps it gives you mentorship, right? In certain cases, the purple school has been able to push people and spur people on, myself as a living example, to the right path. And then in that path, you are able to meet somebody who is able to guide you, someone who has been there, who is able to guide you properly to not make certain mistakes that you might have made through experience. So these people have made those mistakes so you do not have to. And that's one thing I've enjoyed being a part of the Purpose School. Um, so confidence, self-awareness, and the third one being mentorship. Another one is fulfillment, right? 100%, I can tell you right now that I'm fulfilled, that I enjoy what I do, I love what I do, and what I do right now is as a result of it's a culmination of all the little things I've done in the past. All those things have combined in making me who I am. Has got those that thinking back, I cannot think of any single thing right now that I thought might have not been very necessary at the time, but right now it has played a part in making me who I am today. So it really
Fantastic.
helps in that regard, 100%. And
Thank.
the final thing, okay,
Okay. Are you still talking?
one
Sorry,
more.
I thought you had.
No,
I thought you. So the last one,
okay,
you've talked about four things. Number one, confidence. Number two, self-awareness. Number three, mentorship. Number four, fulfillment, right? I think you're about to talk
yes.
about. So what's the fifth one?
The fifth one, to be honest, is what is the number one on a lot of people's list, and that is making money. Because at the end of the day, some people will tell you, no be cho cho cho, show working. Some people will tell you,
So
hello,
okay.
is it passion? Is it passion we can pay the bills? How many passion per year is rent? You know? But the truth is, you do not, it doesn't have to be one or the other. Both of
Mm.
them can align together, and that's what I'm enjoying right now. I'm making money from having fun, from doing what I love, right? And I'm sure that Ifunanya here, who when telling me about or telling us about her beautiful story, I'm hearing, oh, this is when I wrote my first book. Hearing this is how she's been able to influence lives as a coach and all of that. These are things that people would pay for. Your wealth of experience, your wealth of knowledge, these are things that people would pay for. And it doesn't matter if they're not paying big bucks for it now because it will eventually happen. It is time. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of when, not if, right? So, at the end of the day, for people that it matters to, you need to know this now. Your passion can still bring the money that you are craving.
Oh yes, thank you, Cheesy the Ace. Your
You're
passion
welcome.
can the money. I say it this way: your passion can become your profession,
Mm,
and you become a professional that is exceptional.
true.
Listen, guys. The path of purpose is the path where you are going to make the highest amount of money, but not at the expense of your fulfillment, not at the
Hmm.
expense of your soul, not at the expense of your values, the values of life, valuing people, not at the expense of your family, not at the expense of
Very
being
important.
responsible father or mother, and then not at the expense of your self value. A lot of people, especially in Nigeria, I've not been to many African countries, but a lot of people are working in environments that are toxic, very toxic. The environment conditions them to think very small. They are microscopic in their thinking. They ask them not to use their creativity. This is what you are paid to do. Do ABC every day of the week. We don't want your input. Don't give us ideas. Just do what you are paid to do. Just do what we want you to do. Because somebody else used their creative capacity to create
Yeah.
your job and fixed your salary. And it's when they are happy that they choose when they would increase your salary. And they will increase it by just maybe 5%. And you see a lot of people, they are trapped in corporate cages, corporate slavery. Now, is it bad to be in the corporate space? No. Is it bad to be in career paths? No. But if your purpose does not point in that direction and you are afraid to start the journey of your self-discovery journey because of the fear of money. How will I make money? How will I survive? Cheesy here is telling you confidently that you can also make money on the path of purpose, because that's the number one reason why a lot of adulterated adults today short-circuited their destiny, their life, their happiness, their fulfillment for little crumbs. Because at the end of the day, if somebody is paying you what looks like a comfortable salary, that means the person is making much more. And that person went through all of this rugged path. Before I ask Ifunanya to just share hers, please, if you are watching this, write this statement down. If the path is beautiful, ask where it leads. If the path is beautiful, ask where it leads before you step on it. But if the destination is beautiful, then don't mind the path, even if it's rough at the beginning. So if the path looks beautiful at the beginning, everything is looking hunky-dory, everything is looking rosy, before you step on that path, ask the people that followed this path, where are they today? What kind of life are they living? Are they confident? You look way more confident than you were back then. You've always been smart, but when I came to your Instagram page today, I was like, man, this guy is dapper clean. The takeaway, husband material, 100,000 yards. You are a finer version of yourself today. And so also, Dr. Ifunanya here, who I don't know if her parents know, but she's a Russian. It's just that they gave birth to her in Nigeria. Because since she teamed, in fact, when I see you in the pictures with the Russian community, I'm like, this girl not be Igbo girl. This is a Russian. But it was when you got a purpose that this opportunity to go to Russia opened up for you. So Ifunanya, in conclusion, because we don't want to stay too long.
Yeah.
In conclusion, what would be your own top 5 benefits of finding purpose early, or what has happened to you? Yours, I will not really say very early. You found yours in your mid, just about 2 years ago. You became more assertive.
Yeah.
This is the path I should walk. But if you could go back to being like 15 years old, would you rather have started this journey earlier, or once you first wander around and all of that? What's the solution to this problem? So that's like 2 questions in one. But let's talk about your top five benefits, and then you can also tell them where to get the solution to the identity crisis.
So my top 5 benefits. I think he has already said it, but I think it's in knowing who you are. I think nothing hit me more like the fact that I was restructured. I went back to the blueprint of what was given to me for my brand, the blueprint of, under the Purpose Discovery Academy, I restructured my brand with this identity that have been given to me, the blueprint. Under PDA, I was able to start Falex Proof Technology, where I can fully do my website design, not looking for whoever. Under the Purpose Academy, I was able to now find a course that blends both psychology and cyber. If that is not a coincidence, it came together. Now I don't have to choose what I want. I can do both and put them together. So it will be being self-aware is the first thing that Purpose Discovery Academy will actually give you. And I think if you are open to learning, it will teach you, give you practical experience. I'm a preacher for volunteering, right? Because you cannot say you have something in your head and it comes until you practice it. I think we have a lot of I have idea until you do it. Under the Purpose Discovery Academy, I was able to practicalize what was innate. And Mr. Popo will say this color, because if you notice, I wear one colors. I don't like mixing different things. If you say put blue here, maybe blue and this one will go and all. So when you are doing that, you'll be able to practice your talent if you are willing to do that. Because even under the Purpose, I was able to publish my thought. Other books had been ebook, but under PDA, I was able to print my book that I was afraid to print. I don't want to tell you the story of how that book was printed, but I did not put a dime on that book. But that is another. So
yeah, don't let them know how.
Yes, I was able to, so the second. So like I said, it's going to help you to be able to practicalize your innate ability, and it will teach you to live fear. There's a particular session we had at, I think, Friday Inspiration that Mr. Purpose to come out of hiding, Ifunanya. Anytime I
Yeah.
want to do something and I want to run, I will always remember that session. Come out of hiding. I designed it though, but it does not matter. So he told me, come out of hiding. So PDA will teach you to stop being afraid, even if you are the only one doing it. There's something about Purpose Discovery Academy. Mr. Purpose will always start. This is the Purpose Discovery Academy is the foremost Africa. And when he said that foremost, I'm like, even if Eze, they call me Eze a lot here. Even if I'm the only one on this part, Mr. Purpose is doing it. So it will teach you to stop being afraid, even if you are the only one on that lane. That's one thing. That's the third thing I'll say. If I'm to put a fourth, it will PDA will also help you. Purpose Discovery Academy. When you finally found it, there's a tendency for you to give up along the way because you feel like voices.
Yeah.
But if you are really connected, PDA is going to help you to actually stay grounded both in winter, spring, summer, fall. It will actually help you to just keep your eye on that. Yes, to stay on track. So it's not about just finding it and some seeds fell on the wayside, some thorns. You stay on track and keep looking ahead. And again, he said mentorship, and I think that's because you may be, I don't know if it's my generation thing that you are looking forward to. Many of us may not have access to, what will I call it now? You're looking for the person, how will I put people that have been, you're looking for Bishop Oyedepo to mentor you. Meanwhile, Mr. Purpose has 16 years experience in this line of purpose, and he has given you access to come to the community. It will be a really not. It will give you mentorship that people are paying, and people are in the hand of tormentors that are not really mentors.
Yeah.
But you have access to this mentorship. So I think that is a very great thing for me, right? So I think that would be the top 5 that I would say.
That's a masterclass feedback. Wow. Thank you so much for your humility of heart, because it takes humility to really say all the things you're saying without holding back. We just started the journey, though we are 16 years. I just believe that God is just about to we want to take the entire Africa out of purposelessness. You know, the potential of Africa is so much because of the numbers. So what has kept me going is, if what we have been able to do in our immediate environment, and we can see an Ifunanya, we can see a Cheesy, there's a Daniel, a Diabo, there's one lady who was going to take her own life the week after she met us. This was in 2011. She had bought Valium 10. She had bought the drug she was going to swallow to take her own life because she was just frustrated. So our vision is larger than us, but we see that it is worth all the sacrifice to get more young people aligned early. So these 5 points that you shared, we're going to play it over and over again. We're still going to do like a podcast with each of you, special podcast that we'll now need to blast on the social media spaces, because when more young people see believable references like your stories, I'm sure that they won't want to get onto those paths that look very attractive at the beginning. They want to go in the path of crowd, but you see, your purpose and your destiny cannot be fulfilled through crowdfunding mentality. It's a personal race. It's a personal path. and you must live by conviction, whoever you are, not by popular opinion. You know, if you are somebody giving, and that's one of the things you said, Ifunanya, that at PDA we help you get. You don't focus on what other people are doing or saying. So that's focusing on an audience of one, because you can't enter dominion by focusing on public opinion. Even Pastor Paul Adefarasi, he said that today. I spent the whole day just replaying this tape, the African Praise Experience, and there was something he said that was so insightful. That the God you see is the God you get. The side of God you see. You can meet Jesus and see him as the carpenter, the son of Joseph. That's all you see. And then, so when you go to him, you're asking him to come and make tables for you and make chairs. But if you are like a blind Bartimaeus and you can't even see him, but you hear that he's passing by, you will shout, "Come and have mercy on me. I don't know my purpose. I don't know where this life. I need you to show me." So the God you see is the God you get. And a lot of people think that this message of purpose that one has been talking about for so long, that is a waste of time. At least let's live life first. Let's go and make a lot of money first. Then we can now come back to this purpose matter. And then they get lost, and they are lost forever, because they can't, at times, scars, the wounds that they obtained going into the wrong stuff, their soul is so battered, shattered, and scattered that you can't even talk to some people when they are 35. Is it when you are 35 and you've had 10 failed relationships, you've been out of 10 different jobs? It's not that age. That's why we've focused our energies on young people between the ages of 12 and now we're even expanding the number to maybe about 25 in terms of that discovery teaching. So thank you guys for coming live. You are actually the first two out of this.
Thank you.
It was a difficult pick. We had a pool of 100 people that we still have their contacts out of the over 40,000 that are through our academy. So we consider you the pioneers of pioneers. And this is not a coincidence. Sure, God wants to do 16 new things in your lives. So,
Amen.
The next time I'm going to hear from both of you, I believe you'll be married. Cheesy, you have emceed a lot of weddings. I don't know if there's a woman in your life now, but your purpose crystal ball, when you look into it, you will see the woman that is perfect fit for you.
Amen.
And for Ifunanya, I believe that the path is already clear and your crystal ball is already shining. So any last words from both of you before I say I don't think Cheesy is aware we have all the courses of the Purpose School now on an app.
I saw that. Yeah. Quite impressive. I saw that.
Yeah, so if you are watching this video, immediately this session is over, go to Google Play Store if you use Android and look for, just type Purpose Discovery Academy. Currently, all our courses are free. They are not going to be free forever, but so be amongst the first 1,000 or 10,000 people to download the PDA mobile app. You can do that right now. Once we hit a certain number of free downloads where you can have access to our courses, it will automatically switch to being paid. So, but we just want to firstly sow the seed into the lives of more people, especially young people across Africa. I did a survey recently. I stood on the road and I counted more than 50 people walking past. Like over 40 of them were people under the age of 20 and they were holding their phones like this. On the road. You're on the road. Some of them even almost walk into me. They want to hit you head on because of this thing called phone. The smart way to use your smartphone is to download the Purpose Discovery mobile app. That's one of the smartest things. And then invest some of your data in discovering your identity, because you don't see life the way life is, you see life the way you are. So final words from you.
My final word would just be to not just write things down, but to take action. That's it. Because it's okay for you to jot things down, for you to write what you've learned today, what you've learned from the Purpose Discovery app, or what you've learned from a podcast, or whatever. But all those is not going to change your life. All that won't change your life. What's going to change your life is the action from what you've learned. So put it into action. That's my final word.
Thank you so much, Chizzy the Ace. Ifunanya, Dr. Ifunanya, please, your final words from Russia. Oh, wow. Thank you for staying up
It's,
this late. Who are not aware,
it's
Russia is 2 hours ahead. It's past 11. We're keeping up.
yeah.
Thank you for
So
doing this with us.
my final word, you asked me a question, if I was 15 years, what would I have done? If I was 15 years, which would be my final word, and it's what I would advise anybody listening, is to stay. So when you hit an obstacle in your purpose, in whatever you feel you are doing, I will advise you should stay. Even if you are afraid, at least sit down on the ground in that point first. Don't back out. Because by the time you are coming back to look, you must have lost some grounds. So when you hit an obstacle, especially in your place of purpose, because the devil, we already have him as an enemy from the day one, from the Garden of Eden. There's no how he will want you to discover your purpose, because it's going to be he will lose people that are supposed to follow him to the endless pit. So just stay. You found your purpose, you've not found your purpose, you have an idea, just stay. It looks difficult, it looks like things may not, what's the word now? It's not giving you the vibe that you want. I think purpose is not about vibe. You have to get to the point of Debola Deji Kurumi said, to from duty, first of all, to when it's giving you pleasure. You, in your part of purpose, you have to learn how to like it as a duty when you do not like it, to show up as duty before you now enter enjoyment, because it's not every time that what you like doing can actually you actually feel like it's giving you what you want. So learn to stay and when to move from duty to what's the other word now? To
Pleasure.
pleasure. Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much. Ifunanya, we have to make you a facilitator very soon in the Purpose Discovery app, because I'm just getting a lot of rema, a lot of powerful thoughts. That means you've taken everything that you learned, you've ruminated on it so much, and I am so proud of the young man Chizzy is becoming, and also the young woman that you have fast evolved into. You attended Evolve, our business coaching program for entrepreneurs. For entrepreneurs out there, Purpose Discovery Academy has different platforms, different channels of impact. Evolve is our business coaching, like virtual boardroom coaching for entrepreneurs. And of course, we cannot start coaching you in entrepreneurship without talking about discovering your core identity. That's where Miss Naya here got impacted by the energy of God through our curriculum. So our final words tonight is 16 years already gone, 84 years to go, because I promised God I was going to do this for 100 years. 16 years down, 4 years to go, and we want to ask you to go to Google Play Store tonight. If you're watching this right now or anytime you watch this video, Google Play Store, Purpose Discovery Academy mobile app. Very soon it will be available on Apple Apple Play Store as well for those who use Apple phones. But don't forget, all men eventually leave. Sorry, all men eventually die, but some never truly lived because they never purpose for their lives. Cheesy, thank you so much for doing
Thank you
this.
so
Tell
much
your
for having me.
friends about the app. Please post it on your timelines. I can send you flyers and all of that, or the banners, to make people know that this is the app for you to download. Save your data for self-discovery rather than watching other people's lives on
Word,
Instagram and TikTok.
Mm.
So
word.
thank you. So I look forward to you inviting me on your platform, Ifunanya, for your tab circle sometime soon. You see, I've invited myself stylishly now for this your programs that you do monthly. So
It's not, Mr. People, you pitch to Chizzy. We actually have Raise Your Seat conference coming up in November. You're already the speaker. You're already on our website, so you don't need to worry. I already put your picture with already on the website.
uh,
So
so I look forward to the official invitation. So
yes,
everybody,
sir.
thank you for joining us tonight. You've heard it from
Thank you
these
so
two.
much.
The smart way to live is to live on purpose. You know, get out of the rat race and get into the smart race, because purpose helps you to get paid for what you were made to be. My name is Mr. Purpose, signing out but not signing off. See you next week with another guest, another set of guests who have been through our academy in the last 16 years. God bless you, everybody, and have a good night rest. Thank you.
Good night.
Good
Thank you.
night. Thank you, sir.